Hey guys, ZAZZA here and welcome back to another video of the Apex Online Racing Season 5 Tier 2. As you can see, we are currently in 6th position for the Monday night practice session, which includes Tier 1 and Tier 2 drivers. So we're just about to exit the pits to start our quali run, but before we do, I just want to thank Apex Online Racing and Jazzman for reviewing my video of my disconnect and have reinstated my points. So if you check out my previous two videos, I've had two disconnects, so we've now got a first and a second, and we are in the hunt for the championship. But if you look down in 11th place, you'll see my brother Maz, and we formed together the zazzaracingteam, and we have 337 points. So on the Tuesday night sessions we'll keep an eye on Maz as well, and we'll see how we do. But guys, if you like the videos, then do all that good stuff. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to get notified of when all my content is uploaded. So we're going to move into my flying lap as we cross the start finish line to head into turn 1, braking at the end of the triangle there, keeping it nice and tight to the inside. And what makes the Craner curves more difficult here is that if you look on the right hand side, the brake marker has been knocked off, so it was a complete guess as to where to brake for this corner. But as you can see, we are a tenth and a half up with our slicker in front of us as we come through, and we see our slicker just getting a slide on there, and I think he goes off here. Yeah, that's right, it goes off, allows us to come through as we head down Starkey Straight towards the S's. Now with the S's, we're braking at the 100 yard, and we're just trying to take as much as the S's as we can without getting a penalty. And again, these last two corners, these last two hairpins are quite difficult. Managed to get in, tucked into the right hand side there, and we're 3.5 tenths up coming into the final hairpin, which I knew I messed up on the last run. So just as long as I got this one right, I knew I was in for a good time, and we come in just under 4 tenths and move one position up. I feel that was the maximum I could have probably done. So if we keep an eye on here for our slicker in 9th, and in 11th I Draznop, and 2nd Alexis. I feel the race that is about to ensue is between those four drivers, although Jazzman, I'm not sure he does. He starts the race, and I feel that he's so good that he goes back to the pits. But we start here, coming across the start finish line. We get a good start, we get the jump here on Big Mac, and I think if we look in the mirrors, we'll see Prezel try and send one up the inside of a couple of cars there, which gives us a bit of breathing space, but allows our slicker and Draznop to get in behind me. Alexis in front of me, Sneaky Ninja in 2nd, and Jazzman in 1st. And as I said, Jazzman just runs away for the first part of this race. But I'm feeling the pressure from behind, if I'm honest with you. The tyres aren't up to temperatures, and we've got our slicker, who seemed like in this first stage of, well, he did seem faster than me throughout the whole stint, but I'm just trying to keep him at bay, to be honest with you. And as I said, I'm feeling the pressure here. Cold tyres, and I don't like being in this position. I much prefer being the hunter rather than the hunted. But as we come round to complete the first lap, we're trying to get our tyres up to temperature and into the zone, but we're gonna move it forward slightly onto lap 4. Tyres are up to temperature, but as I said, our slicker's been harrying me for the past 3 laps. As you can see there, I'm doing 129.3s, he's on 128.8, and you've got Idraznop 129 slightly behind there, 129.5 I think it was. But all 3 of us seem to have a very similar pace, albeit our slicker does seem to have that upper hand at the minute. My tyres are up to temperature, and as we come over Starkey's Bridge and into McLean's, so here's Starkey Bridge into the right hander, and our slicker's right on my tail. And as we come up here into McLean's now, I kind of run it a bit wide. Our slicker gets up on the inside. I could have probably done a little bit more to shut the door, but to be honest with you, it was probably the best thing, because our slicker was slightly faster than me and I was feeling the pressure. So to have him in front of me, to then follow his lines, it was a bit easier. So now our slicker's caught Alexis up in first position, and I've got Idraznop behind me, and they're going to start having a battle up here in front. And as you can see, they're going to go into the S's side by side, and I think our slicker there pulls back, comes in, takes the chicane, whereas Alexis, who was super rapid, takes to the grass. And I was hoping that he would fall in behind me, but to be honest with you, I'm glad he didn't now. And he ended up behind Idraznop, so that kind of took the pressure off me a little bit, and it's allowed me to close the gap up again onto our slicker. And what was great about this racing was Idraznop's there, he's trying to get his nose in front, but it was all tit for tat. So we'll move on to the first rounds of pit stops, but as you can see at the moment, it was all tit for tat. It was all pretty close racing here from the start of the race all the way through to the pit stops. And now I've got the upper hand a little bit on our slicker. Maybe his tyres have cooled off slightly. Maybe he's feeling the pressure from me being behind him. As you can see there, he goes slightly wide, which gives me the overspeed up into McLean's, but there's no way through for me, which then allows Idraznop behind me to catch up, and it's kind of like a Constantina effect constantly. So you might get the run on the car in front, whereas now Idraznop falls a little bit behind through the chicane, which then drops him into the clutches of Alexis. So it's kind of like the pressure building on each one of us, and that happens all the way through from this moment, the 45 minutes, all the way through to the pit stops. And then the pit stops, we kind of like do our thing, which we'll move forward to in a second as we come round the final hairpin onto the start finish line to start lap 10. But we will move it onto lap 17. We've got our slicker still only 1.3 seconds in front. Idraznop is 3.3 behind, and Alexis is right behind him. But if you see, Idraznop is the first to blink. He goes into the pits, and I've seen that, and I thought to myself, I was still in two minds right up until this very last second. I was going to carry it on, and then I dove into the pits to do my first pit stop and to cover Idraznop off. There is a car in the pit lane. I don't know whether it... Yeah, I mean, you can do without it. I could have probably gone in a little bit faster. But I come out of the pits, and as you can see, ZAZZA has got the jump on us. So super outlap, in and out lap for him, and I feel like this is where I'm struggling at the minute, because we'll see in a second that our slicker comes into the pits as well to conduct his pit stop, and I feel like I'm losing out on the pit stops at the minute, because as we come round here, we'll move it forwards, you can see our slicker has come out of the pits and he's like 9 seconds up the road, and he was only a couple of seconds in front of me. Alexis is 0.3 of a second behind me now, and yeah, he's putting the pressure on me as we're coming up into McLean's, but I'm starting to feel the pressure from Alexis, because Alexis was a super quick driver, but ZAZZA goes off here, which allows me to get the run on him into the chicane, and I think he was going to come back at me. But what I love about this this racing is I feel like he realised that maybe there wasn't the space, and he took to the left hand side. It's allowed Alexis to come in on the inside, and I couldn't cover it off fast enough, and we actually bashed doors there, and I apologise for that. I actually didn't mean to do that at all. I didn't realise that I was going to end up turning as much as I actually did. So now you have our slicker, who's like 10 seconds down the road, Alexis in front of me, ZAZZA behind me, and we're just going to move it forwards now to the final lap of the race, and we've got our slicker up the front. Alexis has closed down that 10-second gap and is literally on his tail, and you've got ZAZZA 6-7 seconds behind me. And as we come through turn 1, if you look up into the distance, you're going to see our slicker and Alexis there. You can see their headlights, and all I can think of is, right, keep going and keep pushing. And then I heard, yeah, a slow car in front of me, and I thought, have they touched? And I didn't dare look up at the track map or anything. I was thinking, I'm going to come across a car now, and it's going to be Alexis or our slicker, and I might be able to nab this second place. But actually, when I got a moment to breathe, I quickly looked down and I saw it was Captain Kirk. But I'm still pushing through this last section. I know I'm down on my time, but it's the final lap of the race. My tyres are a little bit shot here, and yeah, I feel like we're just consolidating now this third place, as I see that they're going through the final corner and they're crossing the line. Well done, our slicker. Alexis, ZAZZA, that was an absolutely great race. I really enjoyed that, and yeah, I thought I'd make a video on the Monday night practice because it was just such a good race. But guys, let me know if you want me to amalgamate this into the normal Tuesday night's race. There you can see the results. Our slicker came first, Alexis second, myself third, ZAZZA fourth. But I will make another video on tomorrow night's actual race where the points matter. But for now, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next race.